Okay, let's go to Tanya. So in middle of Perak, Lamed Hey, 88 on top, 160 at the bottom. Okay, Alter Rebbe is saying like this. We're going to start 5 lines from the end of the page. At the bottom, it's 160, on top, it's 88. Okay, Alter Rebbe is explaining why a person needs Torah mitzvahs. And he says, because it's just a tzaddik, the highest form of a tzaddik, is still somebody who loves. And Hashem can only rest on something which is completely bottled, completely nullified. Because like we said, if you're full of yourself, then there's no room for Hashem. Hashem could only come, and that's why the last thing we were learning, we're gonna in the small note, it's called the Haggah at the side. There's a fundamental Haggah that's quoted many places. The Alter Rebbe says, because again, the point is he's saying the Shekhinah could only rest on something which is bottled. And he's going to be explaining when a person learns Torah and does mitzvahs, then they are completely bottled. Otherwise not. And he says like this, in the we're going to learn it inside, this Haggah at the side. The Alter Rebbe says like this, like I heard from my Rebbe, the Mizritcha Magid, Pirish V'tam, the explanation and the reason, the Masha Kosid Be'etz Chayim, the Eitz Chaim from the Arizal writes, that Hashem, the revelation of godliness, Eina Misyachit, does not become one with the world, with the level. Afilu Ba'elam Atzilis, even in the world of Atzilis, Ela de Shusei B'tchila B'sfiras HaChochma. What level of world, even the highest world, Atzilis, the only level of Atzilus that God himself directly permeates is the level of Chochmah. Then from Chochmah it keeps coming down. But where does Hashem initially rest? In the level of Chochmah. Why? Why in Chochmah? Mishum she'ein tzav baruch hu ha'echad ha'emes, because Hashem is the ultimate truth of the only existence. Shul levadehu, that only Hashem exists. The angel law say, and there's nobody besides him. This is the level of Chachma. In other words, Chachma, as we learned many times, is 2 words. Koach ma. It's a power. Ma means nothing. Moshe Rabbeinu said, "V'nachnu ma." What are we? Ma represents bittul, nothingness. And the vital point over here is, as long as a person is full of themselves, Hashem cannot rest. Hashem can only rest, even in the spiritual attributes. Hashem can only reveal himself in the attribute of Chochmah, because Chochmah is Koyach Ma, the level of Bittul. So go back to the 5 lines at the bottom of 88. Therefore, when a person occupies in Torah, again, it doesn't say learning Torah. This becomes his occupation, meaning the Torah becomes one with them. Then his neshama, which is nafshe or the kiss, the godly soul, in shnei levushel, together with the 2 garments of the godly soul, which are koyach hadibor umachshava, the power of thought and speech. Nechleles be'er Hashem ein tzabachu, become one with Hashem, u'miuchedes by beyichud gamur, and becomes one with Hashem. So he says like this: when the neshama learns Torah, now Torah you learn basically with your mind and your speech. The dibartaban, you're supposed to speak Torah. If you don't speak Torah, the Chaim Heim Lemetzoem, the Pedafka, the pasuk says, Torah is life for people to speak it, because then your speech, when you speak, when you explain something, you understand it much better. Even better than thinking it. When a person learns Torah, what part of the garments are learning Torah? Thought and speech. So now the neshama is learning Torah. It's not loving Hashem. It's completely submerging itself, or herself, the neshama, in what Hashem wants. So then, when the neshama learns Torah, and he's going to explain doing mitzvahs, but now he's speaking about Torah, your thought and speech become completely one with Hashem, and that's Hashroas Hashchina al Nafshi Elikis, and that causes the Shechina to rest on your godly soul. If I love Hashem, then I am loving. So there's a me that doesn't allow Hashem to rest on me. Because like you said, Hashem can only rest on something which is completely not me. Bittul. So he says when a person learns Torah, then the garments of thought and speech, together with the neshama, are one with the Torah that they're learning. The Torah is synonymous with Hashem. So that means the Shekhinah is on their head. It's resting on their head. That's the fuel. And he says, K'mayim Razal, like the Gemara says, Afilu echad sheyeshev ha'isik b'Torah. Okay, the Mishnah says in Pirkei Avos, even if one person is sitting and learning, it's not a group of people. One person is sitting and learning, Shechina imay, the Gemara says, the Mishnah says the Shechina is with him. Why? Because you're becoming completely subjugated to Hashem. This is your business. You're not learning it as something outside of you, like a worker. No, they work well, we learn, but after business is over, they're out. The owner, this is their existence, this is their life. So when a person learns Torah, so then the thought of the person is one with Hashem, the speech of the person is one with Hashem. So now he says, how do you bring this down into the third garment called action? Okay, now you're using your head and your mouth. How do you bring down godliness into your stomach and your foot and your hand? He says like this. But to bring down the revelation and the light of the Shekhinah. Gam al gufei v'nafshei habamis. Not only because the ultimate, Chassidus explains, the ultimate is not to fix the neshama. The neshama is perfect. The ultimate purpose of the neshama coming down is to purify the body and the animal soul. Through this, the neshama goes up greater. But the avodah of a person in the body is not to fix the soul. The soul is good. But to bring down the Shekhinah, Gamal Gufei v'Nafshi Habamis, on the body and the animal soul, which is Chiyunis, the soul that gives us life. Remember how the Rebbe said before that if you're a tzaddik gomel, that not only killed the Yetzirah, but you also transformed it to Kedusha, so the tzaddik, by the way, doesn't live from the Nefesh Habamis, because he doesn't have one. The tzaddik gomor, the incomplete tzaddik kills the Yetzirah. The complete tzaddik, we learned, transforms it to Kedusha. So then the tzaddik doesn't live from an animal soul because he only lives in Kedusha. All of us, 99.9999999% of the world, we have a Nefesh Habamis. What's giving us life? Nefesh Habamis. So therefore, how do you get godliness to come permeate your body and your animal soul? He said then, that's why you need to fulfill action mitzvahs, which you do through your hands and stomach and mouth, whatever, you do it through your physical body. Then, the power of the body, which is in this action of what you're doing, Nichlal ba'er Hashem, this power of the animal soul and the body become one with Hashem, and becomes mamish one with Hashem, not even in the way of I love Hashem. You are doing the mitzvah. You are just Hashem's microphone, whatever. Which is the third garment of the animal soul, which is thought and speech, and now this is action. Then, what happens? The power of the animal soul that gives life to your body. That was from neutral level of like you said before in the first parak. The nefesh habamis of a Jew comes from klipas neiga. Then nisapach meralute. Then that nefesh habamis is transformed from bad to good. V'nichlol mamish b'kedusha, and it becomes mamish one in holiness. It becomes like the godly soul. The difference is, though, we have to understand that a minute later you might do something wrong. So then your nefesh habamis is getting strong. But at the time a person does a mitzvah, so through learning Torah, you have your thought, your speech is completely one with Hashem. You do an action mitzvah, then that causes your animal soul and your physical body to be transformed to Kedusha. Because what is your body doing now? Your body is now becoming one with Hashem. The mitzvah connects you to Hashem. So you become mamish one with Hashem. And therefore the nefesh habamis at that moment becomes a nefesh l'kis. That's through thought, speech, and action. But he's saying in order to bring it down into the physical body is not by learning Torah. Learning Torah basically use your head and mouth. You do action mitzvahs, that brings the Kedusha of Hashem, meaning, what do you mean the Kedusha of Hashem? You, because you're doing mamish what Hashem wants you to do, at that moment we are completely one with Hashem to such an extent that at that moment our animal soul is a godly soul. We transform it. Now, obviously, God forbid, if somebody's going to do an Aveda, then it's going to be a problem. What's the Alter Rebbe trying to bring out in this whole Megillah? He's speaking what Shlomo Melech says, don't miss oil on your head. What did the Yenuka say? There's a Shechina that's resting on your head. You need to feed it. How do you feed it? By doing Torah mitzvahs. He says, you feed it. Thought, speech is by learning Torah. Doing action mitzvahs is by doing physical mitzvahs. That is the oil, the fuel that keeps the Shechina on her head. Not physically on the head, but I mean, it's connected to us. Why? He says like this. Why is the body become elevated? Look, the body is a hunk of meat. Without an neshama, you can't do mitzvahs. He says like this. Me'acher sins, shohu that the body itself, hapoil that makes the effort, v'eisa ma'isa hamitzvahs, and does the mitzvah, shabal odai, without the body, lo ha'isa nefesh u'lekis poyeles beguf klal. Without the body, a neshama can't put on tefillin. A neshama can't bench lulav and esrog, and a neshama can't bench lich. What allows the neshama to function in doing a mitzvah? It's the body. Why? Kihi rochnius, because the neshama is spiritual. V'aguf gashmi, and the body is physical. V'chumri, not only physical, but it's mundane, it's coarse. So what's the intermediary between body and soul? Between nefesh l'kis nefesh habamis and the body. So amamutza b'neim, the intermediary between the godly soul and the body is nefesh achiyunis habamis, the animal soul. Hamlubeshes b'dama adam shebaliba, which dresses itself, like Dr. Rebbe said in the first paragraph, in the blood of the person. V'chol haguf, in the entire body. Okay? Now, So the Alter Rebbe is explaining what is the accomplishment of Torah mitzvahs. The only way you could really be bottled to Hashem, according to what the Alter Rebbe is explaining here, not even by only learning Torah, you're not going to get too much. You're going to get your thought and speech. In order to bind our entire body from head to toe to Hashem is only through mitzvahs, action mitzvahs. Torah, and that's why you need both, Torah and mitzvahs. Torah elevates the mind and the mouth, machshava and dibur, thought and speech. Action mitzvahs refine the entire physical body of the Jew becomes holy. And that, why do we become godly that way? Because then we're only feeling Hashem. There's no me who loves, there's no me. I am one with the mitzvah. If I'm one with the mitzvah, I'm one with Hashem. And that's why doing mitzvahs down here is an infinitely greater level than the spiritual worlds. Chassidus explains all over the place. The Kutub Torah is full, all the Maimorim are full of this concept that I'm going to say now. All the spiritual worlds, including Atzilus, higher than Atzilus, are only revelations of God. Higher revelations, lower revelations. In fact, Alter Rebbe at the end of the paragraph is going to say, they say this concept, but I'm going to say it now. I mean, not exactly what Alter Rebbe is saying there, but in a different way. All the spiritual worlds are only a revelation of God. Any revelation is not the essence. Because once you are revealed, then you're revealing it in a certain formation. The Alter Rebbe is going to, let me say the Moshe, the Alter Rebbe is going to explain, we'll understand it better. Ram Gamliel was asked by an Apikoros. The Gemara in heaven, the Alter Rebbe quotes at the end of this paragraph. And Apikoros asked Ram Gamliel, how many gods do you have? He said, what do you mean? He said, the Gemara says every group of 10 people, the Shekhinah rests. Right? The Shekhinah rests. So that means 10 people in this room, 10 people a block down, 10 people a mile down, 10 people the next country, city. He says, Hashem is on, how many gods do you have? If you're saying God's in this group, and God's in this group, and God's in this group, so how many gods do you have? So Gamliel answered him a very profound answer, which is a basis for unbelievable things in Chassidus. Then Gamliel answered him as follows. You have the sun in the sky, the Shemesh. Okay? The sun shines on earth. If you have your windows open, the sun will shine into your house. If you close your windows, the sun won't shine into your house. So if my windows are open, the guy next door is open, down the block is open, all over is open, the sun will shine into everybody's houses. That doesn't mean every house has a different sun. The Shemesh is one sun. Bottom line of it is, where you let him in, that's where he is. There's one sun shining constantly. You open your windows, meaning you let him in, he shines in. You close your windows, you don't let him in. Now, by the sun itself, the sun doesn't change if your windows are open or closed. Everybody could close their windows, and the sun is not affected by that at all. The sun is shining. Where you let him in is where he's going to reveal himself. How does it work with the worlds? What's the difference between higher spiritual worlds and lower spiritual worlds? God's all over. Okay, right? Hashem is all over. Eined Mavade, Hashem's all over. So what do you mean Atzilus is greater than Bria, which is greater than Yetzirah, and Yetzirah is greater than Asiya, and this Tanya is holier than a comic book? Okay, now if Hashem's all over, what does this mean? So we learned already, of course Hashem's all over. But where is Hashem revealed? The sun's all over whether your windows are tightly shut with 10 coverings that there's no sun shining in. The sun is still there. You want the sun to be revealed to you, you need to open up your windows. You need to make a vessel. The bigger the window, the more sun you're going to get. The smaller the window, the less sun you're going to get. Atzilis are wider vessels, i.e., they are more bottled to Hashem. So there's a greater revelation of godliness in Atzilis. Bria, the vessels are not so bottled to Hashem. So they're, so to speak, smaller vessels. So Bria automatically gets less Kedusha, revealed. Yetzirah less, Asiya less. Even in this world, things that are holy, they fall on the floor, you pick it up, you kiss it. This cup is going to fall on the floor, nobody picks it. I mean, you're supposed to pick it up, but you don't kiss it because it's not holy. What do you mean it's not holy? There's no revelation of godliness. Why not? Because it's not bottled to Hashem. It's not doing what Hashem wants it to do. Other things are holy, meaning there's a bigger place where Hashem is led in. But all of these things are still how much of the sun is revealed. We don't have the sun in my house. We have the revelation of the sun in my house. Based on how big the vessel is, that's how much sun I'm going to get. The revelation of the sun. Doing Torah mitzvahs down here, you're not getting revelations. Mitzvah means you are bound to the essence of Hashem, which means when a Jew learns Torah, it's thought and speech. And a Jew does action mitzvahs, which means their body is now becoming one with Hashem. What we're actually doing is connecting and binding, which is what the word mitzvah means, connection and binding, to the essence of Hashem. This is what happens when we do Torah mitzvahs. But now, because the world's in Golus, the Mashiach isn't here yet, we don't see the Kedusha of essence that we brought down. It's like to give the mashal Chassidus gives, it's munach bakufs. It means in the modern day language, the money is going into a trust fund. The money is there. You don't have access to it until a certain time. Now we're loading up the connection to the essence of Hashem. When Mashiach comes, the trust fund opens up, and then the essence of Hashem will be revealed in the world with the third Beis Hamikdash. So basically what the Alter Rebbe is saying over here, why a mitzvah is so important? Why isn't it enough? The Alter Rebbe, that's the beginning. Why do we have a neshama? Why do I need to do mitzvahs? Because in order to bring Hashem's essence into the body and animal soul, that becomes transformed, not like a tzaddik that kills it mamish, but at the moment we're doing a mitzvah, we're binding and connecting ourselves to the essence of Hashem. That can't be done with a neshama. That can't be done in Gan Eden. That's why the Mishnah says in Pirkei Avos, 1 second, 1 hour, which is 1:30, whatever you want to, of tshuva and ma'asim tevim, of tshuva and good deeds in this world is better than the whole olam haba. How could that be? Because of olam haba is only in a neshama. There's no mitzvahs in olam haba. Because a neshama needs, in order to do mitzvahs, it needs a physical body. The greatness of the power of a Jew is that we are able to take the physical body and through doing a mitzvah with complete bittul, then we reveal the essence of Hashem in the lowest of worlds. Ruchnius, Atzilus is a limited amount. That's the definition. What makes different Atzilus than Bria? Atzilus has more revelation, like we explained, and Bria has less revelation because the vessels are smaller. So you have more and less. That's in revelation. In essence, which is accomplished by doing Torah mitzvahs, we connect not to the revelations, not to Atzilus, we connect to the essence. As the Rebbe Shab has an expression, Kol ha-mitzvahs misyachsim el ha'atzmus. All mitzvahs are identified with and connected to the essence. That's what happens when a person does a mitzvah. We don't see it. That's because, and that's why, by the way, the reason the neshama comes into the body. The reason the neshama comes into the body is that the body should be able to be transformed to godliness. What's unique about that? So we discussed again, I think last week or whatever. People like something different, something new. It's summertime now, people go on vacation. What's so great about vacation? Your house is much better. Your beds at home are much comfortable. Your food at home is much better. What's the purpose of going on vacation? It's a change of scenery. It's something new. That's all it is. That's what everybody says, home sweet home. You come back home. It's good to be home. Why? Because it's much more comfortable at home than in a hotel room somewhere. What's unique about it? It's a change of scenery. The neshama coming down into a body is to make a change of scenery. What does that mean? The neshama in Gan Eden is, yes, a part of Hashem. But so, it's a part of Hashem. It is a part of Hashem. It's not unique. By the way, I just want to say one thing. Why is it down here that something new we like? Something different, change. Why do we like it? Why is it why did Hashem make down here that it's some people like a change for a change? Or like we said, a parrot. People go, a bird is talking. No, people talk better than the bird. You ever see the excitement on parents when the kid takes their first step? When the kid takes the first step, it's an emergency Instagram to all the plate pictures with all around the world. You know what? The adults walk much better than that kid that took one step and fell down. What's unique about it? The kid never walked before. It's something new. Why is it like that down here? Because in Elokus, it's like that. Because Hashem likes different things. What do you mean different things? That a neshama is great, is not new. A neshama is a part of Hashem. What's special? When the neshama comes into a body, and the body and nefesh habamis in the time of Golus, and the neshama in the body is still doing Torah mitzvahs, that's special. That Hashem enjoys. And therefore, it's not anymore a revelation of Hashem. It's the essence of Hashem. And therefore, the Alter Rebbe is explaining the original question, why isn't it enough here on page Mem Dalit? Why do we need Torah mitzvahs? Why isn't it enough that you have in the neshama which is the part of Hashem? So the Rebbe is explaining this thing at great length, because the mitzvahs are creating something unbelievably unique. That a physical body with a Yetzer Hara and a Nefesh Habamis is doing mitzvahs. That's not a revelation of how much you enjoy it. That's the essence of the Jew connecting with the essence of Hashem. And that's why the neshama comes down into the body. It's the famous question in many, many memorials of the Alter Rebbe in Likutei Torah. The Haven Inyan Lama Yard and Neshama Bagov. So you read the Gdeila. What is the purpose of a neshama coming into a body at such a great descent? Why doesn't it just stay up there? And all the explanations basically boil down into one point. Because when the neshama can influence a body to do good and a Yetzer Hara to do good, that's an accomplishment that the neshama in Gan Eden cannot do. And because it's such a unique relationship, unique accomplishment, that the neshama made not only the thought speech, but also the action of the body, also becomes one with Hashem. That's a tremendous accomplishment. It's something unique. And that's why Hashem loves it. And therefore, people have to know like this. Yeah, we want Mashiach and all that stuff. Yeah, everybody knows that. But when Jews are in Golus, there's a reason for it. Because there's accomplishment in Golus that we would never be able to accomplish when we're not in the body. To the extent that Chassidus has the expression that when Mashiach comes, we're going to long back to the Golus days. We're going to miss them, the good old days. Why? Mashiach comes, there's no more evil in the world. Ruach HaTumah Avim and Oretz, Hashem removes evil from the world. There's only Kedusha. So then what? We're not going to be able to accomplish anything. Now we are accomplishing unbelievable. And the darker the Golus, the more we're accomplishing. That's why Hashem is excuse me, God's a nice guy. Why does he want us in Golus? Because he wants us to get more of this essence revealed. To make the world the real Keli for that his name will be one, he will be one. The Rebbe Rashab explains, it doesn't say all people will see God. The Nigla Kved Hashem, the revelation of God will be revealed. All flesh will see Kipi Hashem Diber, that the mouth of God is speaking. The Rebbe Rashab in Maimorim defines it like this: Basar as Basar. It doesn't mean people are going to see, eyes are going to see. Basar means meat, hunk of meat. The body as a hunk of meat, the Basar of the body is going to see godliness. That's an accomplishment. Anyway, next Wednesday night, obviously, is Tisha B'Av. There's no shir, but in Mitzvah Shem, this Monday there will be a shir in Parsha, and I hope everybody have a great Shabbos and everything good.